let's jump into the Q&A right now. So you got Islam remains in the top 5 of the do list. Andrade saying Chimaev at 1 for 4 years. The GOAT. Yeah, there's no question. We're keeping Hamza up there, right? Until he loses. Make no mistake about it. At X Xander Cage, it looks like. Xander Cage. Pereira will dominate in your dreams, man. Haha. Yep, and that's what, everybody's on both sides of the fence on this one, you know. A lot of people want to see a contender rise and beat Pereira and move this thing forward. But I say, hold on, I'm not so sure. Personally, I want to see Hamza fight Pereira. And I'm sure Pereira wants to fight John Jones. So there's just I think you're going to see a lot of cream rise to the top. I think Pereira is going to win. I think John Jones is eventually going to beat Tom Aspinall. Fortunately for Hamza, that's going to take a while. So if Hamza can get the middleweight belt and get it easily, like if he can dominate, Hamza might be able to get to Pereira before Pereira can get to John Jones. And I think Dana White would welcome that matchup to stifle Pereira. He does not want him to face John Jones, in my opinion. Now, we'll come back to that in a minute. So you got Cody Haddon versus Alexander, keyword, last name, Topuria. Okay? Topuria, brother of Ilya Topuria. Crypto says, as an advice, do not bet against Alexander. Trust me. The match won't go the distance. You'll see a KO or submission max in 2.5 rounds. Now, I'm not saying that can't happen. But what I'm saying is I've seen something in Cody Haddon. I believe in this guy that he can get the job done from what I've seen in the Contender Series. Now, as you get into the UFC, things change, potentially, because you're going to meet your match at some point. But I don't believe that's yet. But Topuria could surprise us. At Frogwood Record says, no way. Cody's boxing is too clean, and Ortega weighed in over. He's a wrestling champ. So we'll see. Crypto weighs back in. Forget about Cody winning this match. As I said, betting against Alex is looking to lose money. So you got guys going back and forth on that one, and I'm sure that discussion is going to continue as time goes forward. So big matchup between Cody Haddon and Alexander Topuria. At the Masters back says, in terms of Pereira versus Ankalaev, a champ ducking a contender for so long is usually a sign of the contender probably beating the champ. Look at Merab and Umar. I know Merab won, but Umar was easily outstriking Merab for the first 3 rounds. And then, of course, his cardio came into play. And I know what you're saying, but I really truly believe Pereira doesn't think that Ankalaev's a match for him. You know, he wants the big fights right now while he's at the top. He fought a bunch in 2024 last year for the UFC, stepping in 2 cards on relatively, not short notice, but didn't have a lot of break. So, he was the company. Colby Covington always says he's the company man. Alex Pereira was the company man in 2024. Now he wants big fights. So you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and get this fight over with by March and see if we can't get a big fight prior to the end of the year. But the question is, who would that be? There's not really anyone left if he wins this fight. And he'll just make the case that he wants to go up to heavyweight again, putting more pressure on the UFC. Xavier says, Magomed did say that in terms of, I'm going to punish you. Boars. Oh, wow, I thought you were picking Ankalaev. No, I can't go against Pereira right now. Guy's unstoppable in the light heavyweight division. And I know we all have it in the back of our minds like, yeah, but Adesanya KO'd him in the middleweight. But he's different in the light heavyweight. He is a monster. Make no mistake about it. And then in terms of Paddy Pimblett, when he walked in the gym and dominated or destroyed Dennis the Menace, Big Al says good for Paddy. And that was fun to watch. I mean, Paddy went in there and just submitted the guy. And now we hear that Dennis the Menace is going to be fighting an undefeated fighter in an MMA fight. So he's looking probably for another loss. And it doesn't seem like things are going this guy's way. But he talked trash, and he had to answer it. And when he answered it by tapping out in a makeshift fight that there was no tapping out. So Paddy didn't let go for like 2 or 3 seconds, and everyone in the gym had to run and pull Paddy off. I mean, it really is crazy when you see these UFC fighters doing this stuff. But listen, it's the fight game. That's what these guys do. They fight, man. They're not scared of anybody. They'll fight anyone, anytime. A lot of risk there because if you're Patty, you're making money, but at the same time, you're not going to let anyone talk trash. And you know, it's just a tough situation. But luckily, Patty went in there and dominated pretty quick and under like 2 minutes, maybe three, and submitted the guy. So everybody's talking about that.